You've got 64 teams fighting for one goal, which is to win a national championship. And does it screw up people's brackets? Yes, it does. I mean, St. John's messed up my bracket. UConn almost messed up my bracket by beating Florida almost. I was stressing during this game. I was like, please do not give me another upset. Do not. Because I had St. John's in the Elite Eight, which we'll go into that right now because we had a historic head coaching matchup between two of the most greatest coaches we've ever seen. I'm not saying they're the greatest, but they're definitely in that stratosphere. John Calipari and Rick Pitino. It's been absolutely amazing to see both of these coaches' stories. Rick Pitino, he becomes the only men's basketball head coach in college to lead 6 teams, 6 different schools to an NCAA tournament. I mean, that is pretty insane. I don't even know how this man's coaching. He was coaching Kentucky in the 90s. Now he's still coaching at an elite level. And you would have thought that after his stint at Louisville, when he got caught cheating and all of that his career would have been over. But no, he did not give up. He came back to college basketball after coaching overseas. I believe it was Greece. I might have the name of that country incorrect, but he coached overseas for a little bit. And then he came back to Iona, got them in the NCAA tournament, and then he went back to his alma mater, St. John's, and he got them a Big East title for the first time, an outright Big East title for the first time since 1989. And I picked him to go pretty far in this tournament. I mean, if history really did repeat itself with St. John's, they would be in the Final Four this year because the last time they won the Big East championship outright in the regular season, they went to a Final Four. So, and they also got the Big East tournament. So they dominated. But Pitino, he's been getting some flack. He's been getting some flack for benching RJ Lewis Jr., who went 3 for 17. He averaged 18 points a game this year, and he had 9 points. 9 points against Arkansas in the round of 32. And I just got to pull this soundbite up because, one, I think it's pretty funny, and two, I have a pretty interesting reaction afterwards. So make sure to stick around for this.
You had RJ on the bench, for a pretty long stretch at the end. Was that just because he just wasn't making them, or was there something more to it?
I played 30 minutes. It's a long time.
So he was tired?
No, played 30 minutes, and I went with other people. You already know the answers, Roger. You're asking leading questions. You already know it. So don't ask leading questions. You already know why he didn't play. Okay.
Right here in the middle.
Was there one play with RJ that made you sit him in the last 5 minutes?
You know he was 3 for 17. You know he was 0 for 3. So you're answering your own. I'm not going to knock one of my players.
Okay. So he said he's not going to knock one of his players. Which it seems like he kind of did because he's like, well, you already know the answer to that. You already know the answer to why he wasn't playing. Well, actually, I'm not sure if we know the answer completely because I think a lot of us media are just assuming, well, he was benched because he's 3 for 17. But if you look at the context of when he was benched, he knocked down 2 clutch free throws that got St. John's within striking distance. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And then he got benched. And 30 minutes, I get it. That might be a lot of minutes. But for your best player who averaged 31 minutes a game, Doc, you have to keep him in, even if he's shooting bad. And free throws are a confidence booster. If he's making free throws, he's trying to do something and impact winning. And there's other ways to impact a game besides scoring. But honestly, if a guy's not shooting well, you can take him out. But if you trust him with the ball in his hands, give it to him. And maybe he's cold, he can pass it around. But For Pitino to be telling the media that, like, well, don't ask leading questions. I mean, that's not a leading question, in my opinion. You're just not answering it because you just said you don't want to knock one of your players. So you're basically telling us that you don't want to give us the real answer. But the real answer really is, well, he wasn't good tonight. That's why he didn't play at the end of the game. Fine, just say that. But he's never going to say that because he doesn't want to be a distraction when the season's already over. So, like, I'm not sure what his goal with that was. I mean, he could have just said, no, I don't want to answer that. We just lost today. But Rick Pitino won't even answer a question about something that currently just happened. Your leading scorer who struggled from the field. 3 of 17. 3 of 17. I mean, he was Big East Player of the Year. Big East Player of the Year, and he was benched. But St. John's, I mean, they just didn't shoot well from the three-point line, and they did not shoot well, period. I mean, they only made 2 threes. They shot 28% from the three-point line. I mean, that's atrocious. And they were still in this game. So, like, that's what I'm saying right there. And the crazy part is Calipari, he's got the edge over Pitino. He's 16-3 over him, including the NBA. So, was this Pitino benching Lewis like a technical error or a sign of deeper team issues? I think it was just a mental error. I don't think he was just thinking in the moment. He's like, yeah, my guy's not playing well. I need to bench him. But I mean, I think it's pretty impressive that, like, John Calipari, after losing in the first round with Kentucky against Oakland last year, coming back to Arkansas with uncertain expectations, but we all knew what kind of coach Calipari was. And he's come in here, put this Arkansas team in the Sweet 16, and they're going to be playing Texas Tech, which is going to be a tough matchup. That's going to be a heck of a game.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put